Okay, so we are back again. Today I'm just going around grabbing all of the PI products. I've finally made enough. Well, I mean, I've made far more than enough to make loads of fuel. So just jumping back and forth again, I've used the planetary command centers to just launch it out into space around all these. I know that I said that you want to try and use planets that have got really low tax on their customs offices, but seriously, the planetary launch thing is ridiculously expensive. You should, unless you have no other choice, you should not be using that. You should be using these planetary command centers, not planetary command centers, the customs offices. Like tiny amounts of it were costing half a mil, quarter of a mil, and it just got really annoying really quick. So grabbing the coolant and a chunk of the oxygen because I didn't need all of the oxygen that was stored there because again it was expensive. Then once I got it to the command center, dragging them both in. And then again 415,000 ISK. That is just so much. Didn't bother grabbing the consumer electronics because I'm only really in the mood for exactly what I need at the moment. I haven't grabbed the things from the ice planet yet, so I don't need those at the moment. Same with the nanites at the robotics factory. Just warping now off to the last planet. In fact, I think I've got all of them. Yeah, and I've got everything I need now. So just heading to the last crate that I launched. So when you launch them, you get this extra sort of tab in the planetary industry window. There we are. And as soon as you pick it up, it's lost. So yeah, here's the coolant and the oxygen. Grab that. Put it in there. Brill, fantastic. Yep, that's everything I need. Now I just need to run off to Alert and grab those blueprints they're finished cooking. It's only a few jumps away, and it's just about burning there. Once I've got this done, there's really... it's really only getting ISK after. I've built, or I'm going to plan on building a few more Vexers. I've got all of those shards to go and sell from the event. And then it's just going to be... I've not really got that much time, but I'd love to just yeet myself out into nullsec and suicide these Vexers in new and interesting ways. Seems like Providence is pretty chill, pretty quiet, so I could just fly over to there. Ooh. Sorry, Cat. I could just fly down to there, and I've been able to, or rather, I was able to run around a few systems and just rat in relative peace. But I might have just been lucky. It might have just been late, or might just have been a less than active time. I'll do some research into that. But what I'm sort of really seeing here is the best way to make money, ISK, from rats is just to go out into null. It's difficult to get ISK, or it's more difficult to get it from low sec, unless you're hunting those clone soldier tags. But again, even then, that's not the most efficient way of doing it. I mean, players will buy those clone tags for a lot more than Concord because you can repair your sec status. So there's those ways to get it. Doing hacking, doing data sites in low sec and null sec, they can also be really good. And you just again sell those onto the market, but we're just limited. Ooh, I always find myself gravitating to Galente space as well. It's just, I don't know. It's just my favourite part of the game. It's cool. It's not too loud. It's like a Mars space really, in that it just feels like the quietest part of the game. Mimitar and Caldari have the highest populations, which is good and bad for lots of different reasons. Ah, Hunter Dread, that guy. Alright, one jump out from Alert. I like Absolute too. I don't know. So first system when I was originally playing that I lived into, it's just got a lot of NPC stations that have a lot of facilities, and it's got up to level 3 missions, I think. Right. Walking to the Fed Navy testing facility at Planet 3. That again just seems to have everything you'd need, other than bloomin' reactions. But we'll get to that. I found a good station, I think. Set destination after. Okay. Deliver those. Fantastic. Grab them. Let's stick them in my cargo hold before I forget. But also let's put some more on to cook. $20 is a bit long. Let's put it down to 8. $9 for that one. Yeah, let's hit the micro warp drive. That's all of them. Nope. I wish. Okay. Grab those, stick them in here, and undock. Alright. Now with a 9% reduction in materials, that gives me the fantastic reduction of 1 oxygen. And 1 strontium and a bunch of the heavy water liquid ozone oxyisotopes, but it's a small reduction. Maybe it wasn't even really worth it, but maybe it'll add up, I suppose. I mean, I've successfully turned 2 million ISK into 1 oxygen and 1 strontium. All the other stuff I wasn't really hurting on. I'm sure that won't be a pain in the long run. Oh, I should have done this mass before I did all of this, to be fair. Great. But that's all done. They both are as good as each other. Yeah, literally just the 1 oxygen. And the 1 strontium. It just didn't feel like it was worth the extra time to get it to 10. Unless I was building millions of it. Ooh, a Myrmidon Navy issue. That's something I'm thinking might be my next step, or the next thing that I work on, because it just looks great. Does it not just look the coolest? And it means that I can get a battlecruiser without buying a battlecruiser blueprint original. I can just grab the copy. Maybe I could do some more missions like level 4s or level 3s, or just something else. Something for the future. Alright, in Berea now. Larablamps. Almost there. Just another couple jumps. One more jump to go. Another thing I like about Galente space is the systems are very rarely big. I find that in Mimitar space, the systems are usually massive. So there'll be like 100 AU jumps. Home sweet home. Oh man. Also probably my favourite ship in the game. All of the Society of Conscious Thoughts are. Lathonosis, Praxis, Synesis, Metamorphosis. They're just, I think they're cool. They're cool in that they're so versatile, you don't know what you're going to be fighting when you go up against them. In a game like Eve that is all just rock, paper, scissors. Oh yeah, the blueprint. There is even though it's Jack of all trades, master of none, I'd say, for all those Society of Conscious Thought ships. In a game of rock, paper, scissors, like all Eve PvP is, they can be any wild card. They can be so many different fits. Alright, we're in. Okay, dump in all of these in... Oh, these in the blueprints. These in the... Oops. In the fuel and components. Alright, let's get cooking. Stick those there for the moment. Stack all. Click. Go to manufacturing. Yep, there we go, got everything we need. So if we build one set of oxygen fuel blocks and then one set of hydrogen, there we go. In an hour, in 12 minutes, that'll all be done. And we can start looking at reactions before we move on to producing the final part of all of this. Oh wow, this is crazy. I can't believe that I've managed to get this far. I've had a break, I've had a couple breaks, but being able to do all of this, it's just rewarding in a sense. If not very grinding. Oh, that's aesthetic as well, I like that. Having them all stacked out like that. Cool, so I'll be doing one run of reinforced carbon fiber, and they'll give me 200 of them. That's not too bad. Alright, we'll probably look at doing that next session. Alright, thank you very much for your time today. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys another time.